one thing that makes us very different, because of the fact that, as I said before, we are an alpha-numeric, we cannot have the standard 30-second spot. We can't sell 30-second spots. So that seems like a handcuff, it seems like a liability, but that actually is quite one of our major selling points, because it allows us to go ahead and have a whole new level of advertiser integration. And that's something that we call customized branded shows. Now this isn't necessarily something overly new. I mean, branded shows happen. This is actually the first one ever. Clara Lewin and 1930 was a radio show. This is the first ever branded customized show, but we've sort of modernized it a bit. And let me show you what the show could look like. We're actually pitching this right now. We've spoken with the agency. This is a show on TXT-TV. It's simple. It's simple to the point, but this could be a show. Starbucks Count the Beans contest. This could be on, our shows usually run 15 minutes, so it could be on once a day, 5 times a day, 3 times a day, for a week, a month, a year, depending on what the contract is. But this is a show. You're watching television, you text in how many beans are on the screen. The bottom thing moves, the scroll bar moves until we move the top. There's all sorts of messages we can put in, but at the end of the 15 minutes, what happens is somebody wins a year's supply of coffee from Starbucks. Okay? That's the beginning of it. So we always say that the marketing starts on this screen, but it continues on these screens. And I just gave a little breakfast talk this morning about mobile, and one of the great conundrums, or conundri, I don't know if that's the proper plural of conundrum, but one of the big conundrums is, what do we do in mobile? This is a way to have a mobile campaign that is, you're interacting. First of all, every time they send a text message to the screen, in that regard, they're interacting with your brand. But here, as long as, we have to send a message back by law. We have to send a message back to people saying, once they send us a text message, we have to send them something back. It doesn't have to be a boring standard, thank you for your message. We can do something like this. Once they opt in, we can coupon, they can opt in and continue the conversation. That's the type of mobile campaign that can continue working with TXT-TV. Now, we can go ahead, what we're doing right now is working with brands to customize programming. You name the brand, we'll create a show for it. We're working right now with people to develop shows for soccer moms, for some late night stuff, some cooking shows in the afternoon, but all done in terms of interacting with the audience at home via their cell phone. Now, there's one more point where we have audience and advertiser interaction. It's something called lowest bid standing. This is a reverse auction. I don't know if you know what reverse auctions are, but the lowest unique bid wins. You text in from your cell phone a bid on a product such as this TV, and you say, what's the lowest unique bid? Most people will say, I'll bid a penny, that's great, but as soon as somebody else bids a penny, it's not the lowest unique bid anymore. It's not the lowest bid that nobody else has. So if you can come up with the lowest bid that nobody else has bid, you win this television, or a vacation, or we have all sorts of really valuable prizes that we're putting out here on this lowest bid standing concept. So what happens is usually you take a TV like this away for $1.72, or you win a trip to Boston for a Fenway Park weekend for like $11.32. So that's how this concept works.